weird revive here. Uh, let's see. What do you want to try muting yourself there?
You want me to mute? Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. There we go. Yeah. Can you? Okay. So, as those of you who watched last week know, I switched platforms. I'm now broadcasting from Restream, and so still a couple of bugs to work out here and there. But I'm happy to say that this morning I have a guest. He's a two-time, will now be a two-time guest on the Way to Wow shows, and rapidly becoming a very good friend, as well as a fellow alumnus from the University of Southern California. And so William Elkins IV is here today this morning, and he's going to be talking about the difference between a real estate certified probate advisor and just your, typical real estate agent that probably most, if not all of you, know. So William, thanks for joining me this morning. How are you doing? Oh, you're gonna have to unmute now, I guess.
Sorry. Yes, absolutely, man. Happy New Year to you, Kevin. Thank you for having me on once again. The first time was phenomenal. How you doing, buddy? How's the new year started out?
It's starting out well. Been working hard, and as you can see, the show has a pretty new look from last time you joined us. So right,
I love the new streaming platforms.
Yeah, isn't it great?
yes, absolutely, man.
Absolutely. We look real official here with this, with the captions, scrolling below and all that stuff.
Hey, no, I love that, man. I need to get hip to that. That's phenomenal.
Yeah,
marketing in all ways,
Exactly. So William, tell us, if you would, just take a few minutes and kind of set the stage here. How did you get involved in the real estate business, and in particular specializing in probate? There's not a lot of agents who do that.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I guess the from an infancy stage, it kind of speared senior year at Morehouse, taking entrepreneurship, and it was centered around real estate. And I am trying to remember the professor's name. I struggled with it as a while ago, but Sistron, Professor Sistron. But it's centered around real estate, and I just knew at some point in my life I wanted to get involved in real estate. That course just piqued my interest. So moving forward, when I graduated, I got a job with American Express during the height of 9/11. It didn't last. A buddy of mine, rest in peace, his mom owned a mortgage bank in Brentwood. Sandra Macbeth Reynolds, I do have to give her kudos. Wonderful lady. She worked for a mortgage bank. So I kind of started out in lending. So I did that. It was like having a freaking midlife crisis at 21, because I go from 45,000 a year to calling on real estate offices in Downey in the summertime, 100% commission. That's a difficult transition. So,
Downey in the summertime is hot.
Oh my God, man. So yeah, I did it for about a year. I really wasn't ready. Went to the broker side, but somewhere down the line, because it's a long story, I was actually doing both sides of the business with a buddy of mine, doing loans and real estate, and I was recruited by Keller Williams, and I had to choose. because I honestly I wanted to learn the real estate side, so I just had to let them know, like, I gotta go, man. I want to learn. KW is recruiting me. I really want to switch over to the real estate side. So went over to KW in the marina, and even before I was at KW as a loan officer, just when I would call on different properties that my buyer would want and get pricing, the probate agents are always stood out. Like, there was just something about the probate listing agent. There was a certain mystique about them that always intrigued me. And when you talk to, the vets in the game, they're like, yeah, the probate listing agents are no joke. You got to be on point to deal with them. And probate is kind of like the corporate side of real estate. So the fact that I have a corporate background, it really was an affinity. Like, it was a good mesh, So I got a call from a company called MTI Education, and have you thought about being in probate? I'm like, well, actually a little bit, So I got certified and started focusing on probate.
So talk to us, if you would, about, wow, there's that weird echo there. How is what you do? Well, first of all, talk about the certification that you got. What did that involve? Because most agents, they'll get licensed, and then kind of off they go. So this is in addition to getting your real estate license, right?
Yes. So you can get certifications in different aspects of real estate. Like during the short sale era, there was short sale certification. Senior helping out seniors. There's a senior certification. And then you have probate certification. So it's literally a course. I think it was about a month, but you have to go through classes, courses, majority online, and you have to take certification tests and pass with certain credible scores. So I mean, you're really going through the scholastics portion and earning your certification. Like, you learn how probate works from A to Z. There's different stages, different, like, for instance, you have your letters of administration and your letters of testamentary. So what's the difference? Well, letters of administration, if there's no will in place. Letters of testamentary is when there is a will in place. There's certain nuances in probate that you would not know unless you have been certified. So I feel it separates me from other agents from a competency standpoint, because probate is a complicated real estate transaction. So, yeah, I always make it a point to let people know, like, I am certified in this, because see, at the end of the day, when there's real estate involved, all the attorney's work, everything is contingent on that sale. It's the most valuable asset in the estate. So if you think about that logically, why would you put all your eggs in one basket, all the work that you've put in through probate, to a random agent that could just totally kill the deal for you? This doesn't make any sense. You got to work with attorneys. So you have to have intellect. You have to, like, be able to be a problem solver. This is not a regular real estate transaction. Like, so yeah, I don't know if that answers,
Yeah, it did. So and by the way, we're talking primarily residential here. Pardon me?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So in a typical residential transaction, right? The agent will list the property, right? And they'll put it on the multiple listing service, probably do some other marketing, maybe have some open houses, right? Now, typically another agent will bring in a buyer, and they'll you negotiate the agreement, and you go into escrow, and the escrow and it closes, right? So how is it different in terms of doing a probate transaction?
Right. Yeah. So there's certain nuances involved. For instance, notice of proposed action, right? What that means is all the heirs will be informed that somebody has petitioned for probate. And they are informed if there's real estate that's going to be sold, everybody has to agree. So that notice of proposed action is sent in escrow. It's not sent prior. So if you're not informing your clients or your petitioner, asking those questions, do you see any possible family members contesting your petition? That whole escrow will die. Because when they send the notice of proposed action, if anybody contests, you're not closing. That's a huge distinct difference between a standard real estate. You don't have that. Title issues. Once again, the letters of administration. Everything is contingent on that. A lot of clients see you can be administer over the estate, but not administer over the will or over the I had one, and it's very complicated. He was granted administer over the estate, but there still was a will. There still was a trust that needed to be found. So, okay, you're administer over the estate, but now we have a separate entity called a trust. Who is administering over that? So guess what happens when we get to escrow and I have a buyer that paid full price and they're ready to close? Title says, nope, we're not insuring this policy. You do not have full authority. What are you talking about? Look at the letters of administration. Yeah, you don't. Look at the other line item. Yes, he is administrator over the estate. There's a trust. So if you have no experience in probate, you're going to be lost as a listing agent and doing your clients a disservice, undermining your fiduciary to them. And then you're looking at getting sued. See, there's a whole lot of levels to this. You're dealing with attorneys, you're dealing with courts, you're dealing with judges. If you don't know what you're doing, your exposure is huge.
So in that case where the person who brought you in to sell the property, they had letters of administration or letter of testamentary, they were not though the trustee of the trust, and it was actually the trust that held title to the house. Was that the issue?
Exactly. And he also advising. He wants to do it all himself. He knows everything. He doesn't want to hire an attorney. It's been 3 years. We ain't sold nothing. 3 years, my friend.
Yeah.
So I'm here to advise. I have to look at this from an objective standpoint. Before this meeting, I was on the phone with a petitioner, did a conference call with an attorney. Guess what? She's not even selling the real estate in the estate. But I am an advisor, so I help. I have a team of professionals from attorneys, CPAs, move-out crews, forensic accountants, whatever aspect of probate you're in, I have a professional to take care of you. And I told her, just like I told the other lady, I'm here to help. Yes, I'm a broker. I only get paid if I sell real estate or rent out if there's real estate in the estate. But I'm not going to just toss you to the side like the average agent would do. I'm here to still help you. So what I'm saying is when you're dealing with somebody that's certified, that really has a knack in this business, and they do have some integrity, you're going to be able to get those resources and get help and assistance. She's not going to sell this property probably. Her court date is on the 17th, but she needs an attorney. I didn't charge her for setting up the consultation with the attorney. I'm not going to get any cut. But I need her to know, like, look, I'm helping you out the goodness of my heart. But keep me in mind further down the road or just in general, because that's how I feed my family. But I still am willing to help because I don't know. There's something about I love to help people, and it can be a very trying process, so.
So, I am not a probate real estate expert myself, but my understanding is that at least at times, the property is being sold in probate. When the court confirms the sale, it could be subject to an overbid.
Yeah, that's yeah, okay. So the overbidding process. So yes, Kevin. Okay, there's two type of probates. Non-court confirmation, where the petitioner has full authority, meaning full autonomy. They control it. They oversee the whole estate. They don't need permission from anybody. They are the boss. They sign listing agreement. Now that has to do with your bonding capacity, because you got to get a bond. That's the difference. If you want to get full authority, right? You gotta get the bond, and you gotta put up the money to get the bond. Now, if you don't want to do that, that's the give or take. If you want limited authority, right, where the court is going to confirm and you have to get permission from the judge to sell or to do a lot of things, that's court confirmation. Now, the pros and cons, the pros, you don't have to put up the bond money. The con, you don't have full authority. You don't have full say-so. There's a big difference. Now, the latter, full court confirmation deals, yes. So let's just do round numbers. Property is for sale for $500,000. You got an offer for $500,000, and it needs court confirmation. When you go back to court, the overbid process is $500 plus 5%. I gotta check on that number. So what that means is the courts will allow another buyer to outbid the current offer. See, it's about maximum exposure, maximum marketability. That's why a lot of times the judge is going to ask, how many open houses did you do? So when you get these properties where, in one day they're in escrow, court confirmation, that might not have been the highest price you could get for the petitioner. You just tied it up. Maybe you double ended it, whatever it is. But see, that's probably why they do that, because their goal is to have full marketability, where you are maximizing the highest price that you can get for this property. So that's probably why they get so you get, we in escrow $500,000. Okay, well, we're gonna see how far we can take that. So then what happens is you go back to court, and that day the judge is gonna be like, okay, we have an offer at $500,000. Overbid process time, 500 plus 5%. This is the new price. Can anybody in the court come up with this? Keep in mind, 10% non-refundable deposit, and sometimes you got to consummate that full price right then and there. That's why probate is can be risky if you don't have your capital together and you do not have your ducks in a row, because they're not giving you time to go back to talk to your bank. Do we got the money? No, you got to cut the check right then and there, non-refundable, 10% of the value of the property. So we talking about $50,000. They not playing around, man, and that money's gone. Try to get it back. It's gone if you do not perform. Once again, so why would you want an agent that don't have any experience doing this, does not have the intellect, the education? They gonna drop the ball, especially on the court confirmation, because now you're dealing with judges. So that's because some of my clients, they don't want to put up the money for the bond because it could be like 5,000. Understandable, but it's like, okay, it's give or take. So you're going to have to give up that authority, So you have to. That's why when you're petitioning for probate and you have a conflicting sibling, like I have a case coming up, they're looking at your credit, they're looking at your character, because you got to look at it from this standpoint. They're trying to determine who can we trust. You want to know the real purpose of the bond, so she don't run off with the money. So the petitioner, the administrator of the estate, does not run off with the money. It protects the beneficiaries. And you have to be able to explain this to your petitioners because it's very complicated. And if you have an agent that doesn't understand it, they're going to be even more they're going to be even more confused, and then they're just going to make an irrational decision. So how I distinguish myself is education and insight, and talking and educating and informing my petitioner clients, and let them have the information to make a conscious decision. So, no, I'm rambling. I love it. I could talk all day.
No, it's all good information. So, I know one of the estates I handled, this was based in Alabama, I think. So the attorney was able to get me an exemption from bonding requirement.
Okay.
So have you ever seen anything like that here in California?
I have not. The laws are different state to state, especially probate.
Exactly.
You got your own set of real estate laws, state to state. That's why you have to be licensed in every state you do business in. On top of that, when you're in the probate realm, there's separate probate laws state to state. What happens in Alabama probate wise may not happen in California. Now, I have not seen that. I have not seen that. Did you get full authority? Did you get full authority? I have not seen that, because that's the whole premise of the bond is, okay, if we're going to give you full authority, we need to make sure the whole beneficiaries are protected. So, there may be exceptions to the rules, but I haven't seen that.
Yeah, part of it was she made the case that since I was a member of the clergy that I was, I think she told the judge, this fiduciary is a former military chaplain.
There's exceptions,
and since it, typically the bonding fee comes out of the estate. It was a savings to the estate, not to, require a bond.
So usually the bond has the bond comes out of the petitioner's personal pockets, because they can't negotiate the money in the estate is they haven't got part of the solidification of the full authority is that bond. So you can't access the money. So that's the dilemma with a lot of petitions. They gotta front that money. They gotta out of their own pocket. Just like with my client now, with the attorney, the retainer fee is $7,500. That has to come out of her pocket. Now she can petition to be reimbursed, right? Exactly. When probate is over, but initially it has to come out, and that's somewhat the limit. I understand, because to be totally transparent with petitioners, yes, if the bond is $5,000, you're going to be short $5,000 in your checking account. the money has to go to the bond company. So yeah,
Right.
But you can get reimbursed. Then you
Right,
gotta
right.
look
And
at the
that's
money. Hold on. Then you gotta look at, first of all, you're getting paid. That's a lot of people don't understand. The petitioners get paid what the lawyers get paid, my friend. Same deal. Same calculation, 10% of one, another 5, 7, it's a formula, you guys. Kevin knows, but it's complicated. But see, and that's what I told my client. Look, I understand $7,500 is a lot of money. I get it. I'm not rich, you're not rich. But, and this is what you also have to understand. If you have somebody that's contesting and you don't do anything, they win. She doesn't trust her sister to do what she thinks her sister gonna squat. So she's like, and then also what people need to understand is, and this is from my attorney, she says 95% of the time, if there's sibling rivalries, guess what the judge does? Appoints a third party licensed fiduciary. So in essence, ain't none of y'all gonna get it. If y'all can't get along, we not granting authority to none of y'all. You better petitioners listening, family members listening that do not have a trust or will in place, hear me and hear me well. Work it out. Family bickering costs you guys more money. You lose time. Real estate market is segmented. It's a timing thing. All you're doing is costing yourself more money and more money and more money. So you wanna make sure that you get along. Now, what a lot of people don't know is when you get granted full authority, you get paid for that. See, it's a lot of work involved in administering somebody's estate. It is really a lot of work, especially if you got a lot of assets, checking, artwork, real estate. Literally, that is all your responsibility. So you get paid for that. So you get compensated for the retainer that you put up. And some petitioners forego their commission because guess what? It's coming out of the estate. So, no, I'm going to get that anyway. So, you are compensated when you do have to put the money up for the bond and for the retainer fee. It's not like you're just going to be out of pocket forever, but there are costs associated with going for full authority petitioning that the petitioner should know.
Yeah. Well, we're at the end of our time here today, but a lot of great information, and I think it's worth emphasizing one last time that if you are the administrator for an estate or the executor, and you have real estate that needs to be dealt with, you want to have someone like William here, the background and the experience in the probate arena to help you so that you don't end up costing yourself a lot of money and a lot of trouble.
I'm going to leave it with this. And this is my goal. And this is not just a sales pitch. Inherently, probate is a very stressful endeavor. My goal is to make it exciting and fun for my petitioners. This gold at the end of the tunnel, this light at the end of the tunnel, so it's a huge light, huge pot of gold. And I tell them, you got too much personal stuff going on. How you're gonna go crazy dealing with the personal from the death of your loved one on top of the business? You're gonna go boo-boo, gonna go cuckoo. Let me deal with that. All the paperwork, the back and forthness, all of the nonsense, the minutia. And let me, if your goal is to liquidate the estate, and see, the thing is, it's all subjective. Some family members want to keep everything in house and recycle it, and that's fine. Some want to liquidate, and it's a collective decision. My goal is to get you that money what better way, in some instances, when you're dealing with the death of a loved one, money does not heal. I'm not saying that, but what better way to, and this is what's told, to cherish and kind of maximize and respect and honor all that your parents did for you or your loved one did for you, getting the most out of the estate that you can. And if the goal is to liquidate and to have a monetary gain, let me do that and make you so much money where you can start your generational wealth going on. But if you just oh yeah, like oh yeah, I got a family member in the family that does real estate, yeah, I'm gonna just let him handle it. If you're gonna be that carefree and nonchalant about your family's estate and what your mom and your dad and your auntie, your uncle live their lives and sacrifice for, go ahead, man. Just hire anybody Joe Schmo off the street. But if you want to maximize wealth, maximize your family's estate, hire somebody that's certified in real estate. Hire our team, because we're going to maximize dollars and you're going to have a stress-free endeavor. So, yeah.
There you go. All right. I'm going to let you have the last word on that. So, everyone, thanks so much for joining us. I appreciate it. Tomorrow at 10 a.m. Will be business lessons from the military. My guest is Josh Yeager, and he is an expert on the career and philosophy of Ulysses S. Grant, General and President. And he's going to be talking about how to translate U.S. Grant's philosophy into business practice. So I hope you'll join us for that. I think it's going to be really interesting. And then on Wednesday at 10 a.m. is People Making Money. I'm going to be talking about how to use professional organizations and professional journals to enhance your professional profile. So thanks again for joining us today. I appreciate it. Have a wonderful rest of the day.
Can I say one last thing? And if you guys need to get in contact with us, you can reach us at 310-863-1589. Follow us on Instagram at Real Estate at its Finest, and we are here for you. Thank you, Kevin. It's an honor to be on your podcast, and check this guy out, man. He's a good one. He's a good one.
Thank you. And William, we'll put your contact information in the show notes. So anybody anybody who views this, either who's viewing it now or who wants to view it later, they'll be able to get in touch with you.
Thank you so much, Kevin. I appreciate it. Everybody have a blessed day, okay?
Hang tight here after I end the stream. Hang on one sec. Anyway, thanks again, folks, for viewing, and we'll